Peace, peace. Ali, coming back at you on behalf of SAliMyers.com. Alright, in this video, I want to talk about worshiping deities. I want to make this video so I can be very clear because based on the information I deal with, I have a lot of information talking about ancestor altars and deity altars, or just altar work in general. So I wanted to make a video because I hold a certain responsibility based on all the information I disseminated. I have a certain responsibility to make things very clear because the way this thing works is the more you work with the altar, you're going to go to different levels of working with the altar. So I wanted to infuse something in your consciousness because a lot of people may be at this point where you're not looking at the deities outside of yourself. I made a video, I may link it because I can't think of it right off the bat, but I sort of alluded to what I'm going to talk about in this video is worshiping deities. Now, you're going to deal with the altar at your consciousness. Wherever you are in your consciousness, that's where you're going to work with the altar. For most people, you come into altar work looking at the deities as something outside of you. So say you had Tahuti and Oshun on your altar. Those are two famous deities. Say you have Tahuti and Oshun on your altar. Well, when you start doing your altar work, you may look at Tahuti and Oshun being great gods that's outside of you, that are living in heaven, so to speak, or somewhere, or living on a mountain in a spiritual cloud that you cannot see. You may literally think that these deities are outside of you. And if you look at it, deities are energy. So they're outside of you, but they're also inside of you. And that's the part that I want to challenge you to get to, is look at the deities when you start working with them. Like I said, at first it may seem like they're outside of you. But I recommend is you start to be at a point where you are embodying that particular deity. So when you look at it, when you go to the altar, you're really not worshiping deities outside of you. You're really paying homage and respect to a higher aspect of you. Because when people say my higher self or the deity that rules my head, if you look at it from the Santeria aspect, what they're really saying is a higher aspect of myself. Look at these deities as something outside of you, but something inside of you. So don't look at them as they're always going to do your work, so to speak, or do your bidding. But look at it as because you've worked with your altar and because you are an embodiment of that particular energy, that you can do the work. So at first, when I first started doing things, I was like, man, that's Tahuti doing the work or whatever, or that's Oshun doing the work. But now I'm at a spot because I know that that is my higher self, and I'm an avatar for those particular energies. No matter what I do, it's them and me at the same time because they are me and I am them. It's a symbiotic relationship, and this is a hard part for people to get. The deities, these angels, all the different spiritual beings, they're evolving as we evolve. They have a vested interest in humanity evolving. That's why certain deities, they work with humans a lot more than other deities because they are still growing as well. If they weren't growing, they wouldn't be doing anything dealing with humanity. But the fact that their names are still imprinted on monuments and texts, people still have altars to them, people still are pulling on their energy because they are working with us still. And some deities, because they have evolved, they get to the point where they don't work with all the humans or they only work with a small sector of humans. They're a lot more selective with who they merge their energies with. So deities are growing and evolving just as we are. Once again, it may be hard for your consciousness to comprehend that, but I can only disseminate it as best as I can, and that's the only way I can say it is they're evolving as much as we're evolving. In my book, Deity Linkage Manual, I've dropped some sentences, I dropped some things saying that, you know, these deities are evolving as well. And once again, I know it's challenging for most humans to get. So this has been Ali. just want to give some information talking about worshiping deities and working with deities. If you want to find out more information about myself and what we do, be sure to visit my website, salymyers.com. If you're in need of metaphysical tools, magical supplies, and some holistic products, go to our online store, l9shop.com. That's el, the number 9, shop.com. So until next time, peace.